Buckle up, reality TV junkies, because this mess is what scandal legends are made of. Rumors hotter than a reunion special are flying, claiming that Yandy and Mendeecees' golden glow marriage may have just crashed and burned in the most soap operatic way possible. Apparently, we've got baby drama, teary showdowns, and a curveball named Sierra who just threw the whole thing into chaos. Yup, love has officially turned into betrayal, and trust straight out the window. What? Was supposed to be a chill, drama-free night turned into a scene so intense it could have been scripted. If only it wasn't painfully real. Fans who once crowned Yandy and Mendeecees as the ultimate couple goals are now side-eyeing the whole situation, wondering if this nuclear moment is the beginning of a brutal end. And let's talk about Sierra, because her surprise involvement has everyone's jaw on the floor. Insiders whisper that tensions got so nuclear, even years-long friendships got fried in the emotional blast. Now fans are doom-scrolling, searching for truth like it's a lost season of their favorite show, wondering how this love story went from Nogsh Blessed to full-blown betrayal overnight. So here's the million-dollar question. Was this finally the line Yandy refused to let him cross? Or is there still a plot twist hiding behind the curtains? Stick around, because if you thought you'd seen peak drama, think again. Yandy and Mendeecees weren't just another couple. They were the couple. That beat the odds. Until now, they've battled lawsuits, headlines, haters, you name it. Fans admired how they always rose from the ashes. But behind those perfectly filtered posts and matching outfits, insiders say something way darker was simmering. And now? The storm they tried to keep private just exploded in public, threatening to obliterate everything they built. And just when you thought the drama couldn't get juicier, bam! Enter the plot twist. Sierra's name suddenly dropped into the rumor mill like a ticking time bomb, placing her smack in the middle of a scandal ready to wreck Yandy and Mendeecees' entire foundation. Sources say it didn't start with fireworks. Oh no. It crept in as quiet tension behind closed doors, slowly poisoning everything. People close to the couple started noticing the shift. Yandy's once calm, collected vibe, gone. Her body. Language was tight, her voice sharper, her smile barely lasting past the photo op. One source spilled that she'd been bottling up a storm. Because when Yandy falls in love, she falls hard. But don't get it twisted, she can smell lies from a mile away. The breaking point? A cozy little dinner that turned into a cinematic meltdown for the ages. As glasses clinked and awkward laughter echoed, the whole vibe flipped like a plot twist mid-season. Yandy turned to Mendeecees and dropped the line that shook the table. So, you really thought I wouldn't find out? Calm voice, blazing fury, the kind that silences a room. Mendeecees, clearly rattled, tried to downplay it with the classic gaslight special. You're overthinking. Ignore the rumors. But the death glare Yandy gave, yeah, that told everyone. This wasn't some tabloid fairy tale. And then, enter Sierra, stage left, squirming under the weight of every suspicious stare. Her name had already been whispered through the grapevine, and now her silence was louder than any confession. In a trembling voice, she finally croaked, "Don't drag me into this." But honey, it was already too late. Yandy had locked on, and when she struck, her words sliced through the tension like a knife. You sat there grinning right in my face while being part of this? Seriously, how dare you? Yandy snapped, leaving the room gasping like a live soap opera. Sources spill that the dinner erupted into total chaos. Voices raised, chairs scraping, cutlery crashing against plates, like a wild symphony of disaster. Raw emotions exploded and the accusations flew without filters. "You humiliated me!" Yandy yelled, her voice cracking under the weight of heartbreak. "After all I've sacrificed for this family, this is how you pay me back?" Her pain wasn't just about betrayal. It was years of loyalty shattering in a heartbeat. Mendeecees desperately tried to calm the storm, hands raised like he was defusing a bomb. "Listen, it's not what you think," he begged. But every falter only dug him deeper. Each pause screamed guilt. Every stumble spilled more hidden truths. The harder he fought to explain, The hotter Yandy's fury burned. "Don't insult me with half-truths," she shot back. "If you can't be honest now, you never will be." Witnesses said the tension was suffocating, with friends stepping in to cool things down. But Yandy had already hit her limit. "This isn't about saving face anymore," she declared, voice steely. "This is about saving myself." Final words packed with the sting of goodbye. Meanwhile, Sierra, caught in the crossfire, reportedly broke down in tears. "I never wanted this to happen. I never wanted to hurt you," she cried. But Yandy's reply was ice cold. "Want or not, you were part of it, and look where that's gotten us." Fans who caught wind later said, "No one expected the confrontation to get this savage." Social media exploded with shock, one fan tweeting, "This is a hot mess. Never imagined Yandy walking out like that." The fallout hit instantly. After storming out, Yandy's absence hung heavy, leaving the room frozen. Mendeecees buried his face in his hands while Sierra sobbed silently. A friend whispered, "You've ruined everything," capturing the moment's brutal reality. By morning, news of that explosive dinner was wildfire online. Hashtags trended, fans dissecting every juicy detail. Some blamed Mendeecees for risking his marriage. Others threw shade at Sierra for crossing lines no one should touch. One fan posted, "Yandy deserves way better. She held that marriage up forever, and this is her reward?" Another defended Sierra. "People rush to hate her, but what if she's just a scapegoat?" The fan split mirrored their inner circle's drama. Insiders say some friends back Yandy distancing herself, while others beg her to think twice before making any permanent moves. But those close admit the damage might already be done. She's exhausted. An insider spilled, "This isn't one fight. It's years of her carrying everything alone." The rumored pregnancy linked to Sierra added gasoline to this blazing fire. No one's confirmed it, but whispers alone sent shockwaves through the fandom. If true, it all makes sense. A user commented, "Yandy walking away, now it's crystal clear." Others demand receipts before pointing fingers. But in reality TV drama, perception often becomes truth. In this game, perception beats truth every time. Yandy has kept mum publicly, but her dinner day glare said it all. The woman who once fought tooth and nail for her marriage finally drew the line. Her exit wasn't just walking away from a fight. It was leaving behind years of heartbreak, lies, and shattered promises. Meanwhile, Mendeecees is said to be drowning in regret, clueless how to fix the mess. An insider spilled, "This time? Sorry. Sorry might not cut it." Fans now debate if he can ever earn back Yandy trust or if this marks the tragic finale for one of reality's toughest love stories. This moment is already a legendary hot topic, leaving everyone guessing what's next. Is this really the end for Yandy and Mendeecees? Or could a reunion rise from this messy wreck? Right now, the only sure thing is the bombshell has dropped, and nothing will ever be the same. The chaos didn't stop when Yandy stormed out. It ignited a wildfire nobody saw coming. Her silence at the table screamed louder than words, forcing those left behind to stew in thick, awkward tension. Mendeecees sat slumped, clutching his forehead like trying to block out the storm, while Sierra's quiet sobs echoed through the room. "This wasn't how it was supposed to go," Sierra whispered, her voice shaking with regret. Her voice was nearly drowned out by the clatter of glasses being cleared, but her words only stoked Mendeecees' frustration. He snapped his gaze back at her, eyes sharp and cold. By morning, the drama exploded online. Fans near the dinner spot started leaking exclusive details, and hashtags like Psyched Team Yandy and Messy Sierra took over the internet. One viral tweet screamed, "Yandy walked away like a queen. Nobody deserves that treatment." Meanwhile, another fired back. "Sierra can't take all the blame. Why are we letting men slide?" The online frenzy was just as chaotic as the dinner itself, with fans picking apart every whispered word and shaky move. Behind the scenes, insiders say Yandy vanished into silence, ignoring calls even from her closest allies. She needed space. A source revealed, "Yandy is always strong. But this was different. It wasn't just drama, it was betrayal cutting deep." Her silence only fanned the rumor flames, with many taking it as silent proof. Meanwhile, Mendeecees scrambled for damage control. Those close to him say he bombarded Yandy with long apology texts and desperate explanations. You're my everything," one read. "Don't let this mistake destroy us." But those words, well, you know how that went. Whoever knows Yandy says his desperate pleas fell on deaf ears. She was done with excuses. Then came the plot twist. Sierra, caught at a private brunch with friends, wasn't hiding, but hell-bent on clearing her name. A witness swears she said, "I'm not the one who shattered their marriage. I didn't force his choices. Why am I carrying all the blame?" Her words ignited a fresh fan war, splitting sympathy and rage. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was drowning in isolation. Without Yandy, he looked lost, confidence shattered. Friends said he paced endlessly, stuck replaying that disastrous dinner. "I keep hearing her voice," he confessed, "the way she looks at me, like I'm invisible." That raw admission showed how deep the pain cut, even as he masked it publicly. But things darkened. Rumors about Sierra's alleged pregnancy swirled beyond gossip. Unconfirmed, yet enough to send fans into a frenzy. If true, Yandy walking away suddenly clicks. One fan wrote, "She gave everything and he stabbed her in the back. Unforgivable." Another warned, "No proof, no blame. Let's wait and see." People love tearing down women in these messes. The emotional toll was crystal clear to those closest to Yandy. Insiders revealed she confided in a tight circle, spilling how humiliated she truly felt. "I built this marriage with my bare hands," she reportedly confessed to a friend. "I fought when no one else would, and now I'm left looking like a fool. I refuse to be the villain just for walking away." Her words painted the image of a woman, finally breaking, refusing to sacrifice her dignity for the sake of a facade. Fan reactions only escalated as supposed conversation snippets leaked. One unverified recording captured a heated spat between Mendeecees and Yandy. A voice resembling, Yandy's yelled, "You lied to me. You made me believe I was enough, then threw it all away." Mendeecees' voice came back desperate. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I lost control." Whether real or fake, those clips went viral, locking in the public's betrayal narrative. Meanwhile, Sierra insisted she wasn't to blame. In a tearful moment shared by her circle, she cried, "Everyone hates me now. I didn't ask for this. I didn't plan this. Why am I the one crucified?" Her vulnerability sparked some sympathy, but for many, it wasn't enough to undo the damage. As the saga deepened, it became clear this wasn't about one dinner, one fight, or one betrayal. Years of trust unraveled in moments, shattering family dynamics, dividing fans, and turning the once solid bond between Yandy and Mendeecees into a relic. By week's end, obsession took over speculation. Media outlets and blogs pounced, screaming headlines about betrayal, heartbreak, and scandal. "Is this the end of Yandy and Mendeecees?" one asked, while another boldly declared, "Sierra at the center of reality's biggest split." Once admired for resilience, the couple was now the poster for love collapsing under secrets. And despite the chaos, one question lingered. Was there even the tiniest flicker of hope that forgiveness might conquer betrayal? At this point, Yandy's silence screamed, "No," leaving everyone holding their breath for what could be the tragic finale of a love story gone south. Days bled into nights, but the thick tension choking Yandy, Mendeecees, and Sierra refused to lift. Yandy's silence was deafening, and the longer she stayed mute, the more people bought into the rumor that she was officially done with the marriage. Close friends whispered she'd packed a few essentials and fled to a separate place, far from the home that once stood for stability. She needed space, one insider spilled. Staying there was like living in the ruins of a dream shattered. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was falling apart. Once the picture of calm, now he snapped at anyone nearby, paced endlessly, drowning in regret. A friend visiting recalled a haunting moment. Mendeecees kept muttering, "I can fix this, I can fix this," like a broken record. But the reality? The damage was irreversible. Yandy wasn't listening anymore, And poor Sierra? She was increasingly boxed in. Cameras flashed wherever she went. Bloggers chased her down. Fans shouted insults from across the street. "Home wrecker!" one voice yelled as she ducked into a car. Later, in a rare vulnerable moment, she admitted, "I never wanted to be the villain. I never thought it'd get this bad." Her tears might have been real, but sympathy? That was running dangerously low. Then, just when you thought it couldn't get messier, a fresh wave of whispers exploded online. Fans claimed they had seen medical records suggesting that Sierra really was pregnant, and the alleged timing pointed directly at Mendeecees. Though no proof was ever shared publicly, the mere possibility reignited the storm. If this is true, it's over for Mendeecees. One viral post read, "Yandy deserves way better than this circus." Another fan argued, "We don't know the full truth. Maybe someone's setting Sierra up. Things don't add up." But regardless of what people believed, the narrative had already taken on a life of its own. The emotional toll on Yandy became undeniable. She reportedly broke down in front of a friend, confessing, "I thought I knew the man I married. I thought no matter what, we'd fight through it together. But now, every look, every smile, every memory feels like a lie. How do you forgive that?" Her words captured the heartache of a woman blindsided by betrayal, and they resonated deeply with fans who saw themselves in her pain. Mendeecees, desperate to salvage any chance of reconciliation, decided to confront Sierra directly. According to those who claim to have overheard parts of their conversation, it was nothing short of explosive. "You ruined everything," Mendeecees allegedly shouted. Sierra fired back with equal intensity. "Don't put this all on me. You were the one who made choices. I didn't force your hand." Her voice reportedly cracked as she added, "You promised me things you never meant. I believed you, and now I'm the one burning for it." The confrontation left both of them shaken. Insiders say Mendeecees stormed out, slamming the door behind him, leaving the tension thick in the air and the future uncertain, so hard the walls rattled. "He looked like a man who had lost everything," one witness described. But Sierra was equally shattered, sobbing uncontrollably and asking those around her, "Why did I ever trust him? Why did I let myself get dragged into this?" As the scandal escalated, family members began weighing in. One relative of Yandy allegedly called the entire situation a disgrace and urged her to cut ties completely. This marriage was never going to last if secrets like this existed. She deserves peace, not endless battles, the relative said. Fans quickly latched onto those words, interpreting them as confirmation that Yandy was preparing to move on permanently. But perhaps the most shocking moment came during a charity event Yandy had agreed to attend long before the drama unfolded. Many wondered if she would cancel, but to everyone's surprise, she showed up, elegant, poised, and radiating quiet strength. When reporters pressed her for comments about the scandal, she didn't confirm or deny anything. Instead, she simply said, "Sometimes the truth speaks for itself." The cryptic statement was, and remains, open to interpretation. Meanwhile, Sierra's world seemed to be collapsing. Businesses she partnered with began distancing themselves, worried about the backlash. Her friends, too, started keeping their distance, unwilling to be caught in the middle of a public firestorm. "She's isolated," one person revealed. "She's realizing that even if she wasn't the only one at fault, she's the one paying the highest price." As all of this unfolded, rumors of divorce papers began surfacing. Some sources claimed Yandy had already met with lawyers, while others insisted she was still weighing her options. Either way, the image of their once solid marriage was irreparably damaged. Fans who once rooted for them as a power couple now debated whether reconciliation was even possible. ChatGPT said, allegedly between Mendeecees and Sierra began circulating online. The messages, though unverified, painted a picture of late-night confessions, secret meetings, and promises of a future that never materialized. In one of the alleged texts, a message said, "I can't stop thinking about you," followed by another reading, "We have to keep this between us." The internet exploded. Some called the texts damning evidence, while others dismissed them as fabrications. But the damage was already done. Through it all, Yandy remained a master of silence, letting the chaos swirl around her while she stood firm. Fans praised her resilience, calling her an inspiration for women everywhere. "She's showing that you don't need to scream or beg," one fan wrote. "Walking away in silence is the loudest statement of all." And yet, even with her strength, the heartbreak was undeniable. Those close to her revealed quiet moments where she broke down, whispering, "Why wasn't I enough?" Those words revealed the raw pain beneath her composed exterior, reminding everyone that behind the headlines and social media debates was a woman whose trust had been shattered. The more time passed, the clearer it became that this wasn't just a scandal. It was a full-blown unraveling of lives, reputations, and futures. Mendeecees was left clinging to fading hope. Sierra was drowning in backlash, and Yandy stood at the crossroads of heartbreak and liberation. The story, already explosive, showed no signs of calming down. Every day brought new whispers, new leaks, and new speculation about what the next twist might be. The scandal had reached a point where silence was no longer enough. Every passing day, speculation grew wilder, with fans demanding answers and bloggers dissecting every tiny move from Yandy, Mendeecees, and Sierra. Pressure is mounting, and insiders reveal that all three are feeling the heat. But here's the thing. This story isn't wrapped up neatly. Even now, there are questions no one can answer for sure. Was Sierra really pregnant? Or were the rumors blown way out of proportion? Can Mendeecees ever rebuild what he's lost? Or is his reputation forever damaged? And most importantly, will Yandy's bold choice to walk away open the door to a new beginning? Or will the shadows of betrayal continue to follow her? Fans are still debating every twist, every word, every silent gesture. Some say Yandy is stronger than ever, while others wonder if time will soften her stance. Some believe Sierra deserves forgiveness, while others say she crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. And that's where you come in. We want to hear from you. Whose side are you on in this explosive drama? Do you think Mendeecees deserves a second chance? Or did Yandy make the right call by shutting the door for good? Is Sierra a victim of manipulation or the mastermind behind the chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hold back. Let's get this conversation going. And hey, make sure to like this video if you've been hooked on every shocking twist. Subscribe so you don't miss the next jaw-dropping update in the world of reality TV drama.